I decided to build my own paint program, not because the world needs another one, but because I needed something to play with Raylib and Dear ImGui. And it's the kind of project that's simple, visual, and a great way to learn about how to use these libraries. So I'm pretty new to Dear ImGui in particular, so this is one of my projects to learn how to use it. Learning by doing, it's the best way to do things. Anyway, I'll be starting from a Raylib and Dear ImGui template that I made earlier. If you want to follow along or build your own project, there's a link to get the template down below. All right, let's go. So the first thing I did was to import the Raylib CPP library into the project. So what Raylib CPP does is it wraps Raylib objects in C++ classes. And why would you want that? Kind of out of laziness. So what I want to do is I want to offload the burden of memory management to the C++ compiler. So for example, if we change this texture image object here to a C++ object, so Raylib texture, very simple, you go like this. Okay, so now it's a C++ object instead of a C one. And what will happen is when this image object goes out of, a variable goes out of scope, then C++ will automatically call the destructor. So when this function returns, it'll automatically be deallocated, all of its resources cleaned up. I don't need to worry about memory leaks. So that's why I've done that. Anyway, here is the CMake snippet to do this. So I'm using Raylib version 5.5.0, which is the latest one as of recording this. So I'm using the same version of Raylib CPP. So now let's take a step back and map out what we're trying to do. This is going to be a very simple paint program. So no loading or saving, just a few simple tools and a draw surface. And the draw surface is going to be a static size. You're not going to be able to change the size. We're going to put a toolbar on the left with our tools and a little widget to change the color. And the rest of the screen is going to be taken up by the draw surface. So my template code already has this basic setup. It has a toolbar on the left and a main display area. I just need to delete the stuff in the template. I don't want replace it with my toolbar buttons, my draw surface, and then add all the back-end code that makes it all work. So I decided to create the tool buttons first. And this took a lot longer than I expected because I'm new to ImGui and I found that couldn't find any detailed documentation. That seems to be a bit lacking. So I spent a lot of time scouring the internet and looking at ImGui source code, which is probably one of the best sources of information. You look in the header files and also the CPP files. And that was followed by a lot of trial and error. So I wanted to use Font Awesome's icons for the tool buttons because Font Awesome is, well, awesome. And I had a little trouble resizing the icons to the size I wanted. And eventually I discovered that you must call, where is it, this function. You must call RL ImGui reload fonts after you've added a new font or a new size of the same font. So I've got setup icon font here, which is just a simple function to load the font awesome and the size that I want. And after you've done that, you need to call RL ImGui reload fonts or your program will crash. So after doing that, with a bit more experimentation, I got a basic toolbar working. Where's the code for that? It's down here. So this is all hard-coded. It doesn't do anything. We calculate the tool button size based on the paintbrush icon, which I ended up not using. The first button is I'm using the Font Awesome pencil icon. And then notice here that I want the current tool to be highlighted in the toolbar, and the other ones need to have an inactive color. So this one sets the color, and on the same line draws the line drawing tool. So the freehand drawing is the pencil icon, and then line drawing is a slash. And if I run that, you will see, oh, it wants to rebuild it. If I run that, you'll see you've got the two toolbars. You can't do anything right now, but, oh, and you've got the color gadget here too. So it's all looking nice, but you can't do anything with it yet. So that's what we'll do next. At this point, it's good to add a bit of structure to the code. So I've designed a draw tool class, which defines the interface between the main program, and any draw tool. So the main program does not need to know what each draw tool does and how they behave. It just uses the same interface to interact with all of them. Getting this interface right will make building a large, fully featured Paint program much easier. However, do not overthink this interface. I know if you've got poor foundations, then, well, what happens with poor foundations? Everything collapses. However, you could waste days trying to dream up the perfect draw tool interface on which you can make a future Photoshop. However, you will probably screw it up because you don't have the information you need, you don't have the experience you need, and then you'll have to redesign it anyway. So save yourself the time, quickly come up with something that looks sane, looks logical, and start building. Try it out. If it doesn't work, you redesign it and try it again, and redesign it and try it again until eventually you get it right. It's called rapid prototyping and iteration. It's a much better way to work. You're faster and you gain a lot more experience and knowledge that way. So anyway, this is what I came up with. The draw tool has 4 things that it needs to do. First, it needs to tell the main program what icon out of the Font Awesome icon array to use. So this is what this get icon code does. Next, it needs to process input events. So read the mouse, the keyboard, touch. I'm only going to implement the mouse, but theoretically we could do touch input and keyboard as well. So that's what process input does here. Notice that I pass a 2D camera in, so that will map the mouse position or touch position on screen through to its position within the draw surface. Otherwise, the draw tool doesn't know where the mouse pointer is actually pointing to. After that, the draw tool needs to be able to draw itself. So for example, while you're drawing a line, you want to be able to display the line that you're drawing on screen. So that's what draw tool does. And then finally, when it's time to draw to the actual draw surface that the user is editing, that's when draw to surface is called. And you'll notice that process input over here returns true if the tool needs to write to the draw surface, and it will return false in all other circumstances. So that's the interface. Now you notice down the bottom, I have left this note here saying how to handle the mouse pointer. So I've decided to sidestep the mouse pointer issue because Raylib doesn't currently have the ability to have custom mouse pointers. And anyway, the 2 tools, the freehand drawing and the line drawing, both use the same crosshairs mouse pointer. So for now, I've just put that in main. Let's see if I can find the code for that. Yeah, here. So we display the image and then call ImGui is item hovered. So this is a convenient tool, method to find out, is the mouse pointer over the current widget? So if it is over the display surface, sorry, the draw surface, then we set the mouse pointer to the crosshairs, and otherwise we use the default arrow. So that's what this code here does. At a later point, when I add more draw tools, then I can upgrade the draw tool API or interface. But for now, let's not waste time on that. Let's get moving. So now we need to get the actual drawing code done. I've reworked the main function, to get the tool icons from the actual draw tools. So you'll see the hard-coded code has been replaced with this for loop. And this code will go through all of the draw tools and draw them out in an array. And if it gets to the one that is the current draw tool, then it will draw it with the active color and otherwise with the inactive color. We've got this if button here, so that both draws the tool and checks if the mouse has clicked on it. And if it has clicked on it, then we set the current draw tool. So all pretty straightforward. Now displaying the draw surface and the tool is a multi-step process. Here's how it works internally. We have 2 render textures. The first one is the draw surface. So that is what the user is editing. That holds the picture that they're drawing. Then we have a display surface, which is the same size as the draw surface. And this is used when displaying the draw surface and everything to screen. So what we do is we copy the image that the user is drawing to the display surface, and then we call draw tool to draw on top of it, and then we bring it to the screen. We draw it to the screen. So this isn't the most efficient way to work, but it's simple, easy to understand, and it works. And with modern computers with fast GPUs and fast VRAM and a lot of VRAM, it works just fine. You can edit big pictures that way. So that's what we're going with. The pencil tool looks like the easiest one to implement, the freehand drawing. So I started with that one. And this is what I came up with. Here's how it works. So the main program will call process input. And when it does, we'll save the color in color. The current point, what was the current point becomes the previous point. And we get the current point from the mouse. So we read the mouse's position, transform that into draw surface space. And then if we're not drawing, then those two should be the same. So that's what this next bit of code does. Right? We do not want to start drawing from a point that the user did not select. And then in the case of freehand drawing or pencil, it draws whenever the mouse pointer is held down. So that's what this code does. We say, is the mouse pointer down? If yes, then it's drawing. And process input should return true, saying we need to draw to the draw surface. The user is editing that one right now. And over here, we have the code that does that. Let me scroll down to it. Where's the handle draw surface, the draw tool. So first, make sure that there's a draw tool. There should always be one, but just in case not. And if the mouse pointer is over the main area, then we set up our 2D camera. We call process input. So if the pencil tool is selected, it will call this one over here. And then if it returns true, then we draw to the surface. So that's how the entire drawing works. The next step is to not draw to display, is to display to the user what they're doing. So this is a 3-step process. First, we copy the draw surface, so that's the one that the user is editing, to the display surface. So we create a copy, and then we draw the tool on top of it. Now notice that I had to flip the y-axis here. This code here, the translate and scale, that flips the y-axis. And that's because under the hood, Raylib uses OpenGL, and OpenGL's default coordinate system puts the origin in the bottom left corner, while we're working from the top left corner. So we just flip the y-axis, and then things are drawn in the right place. And then the final step is we display this image containing what the user's drawing and the draw tool on top of it. We display it to the screen via ImGui using ImGui's image function. And then, oh yeah, here's the code that you saw earlier to set the mouse pointer. So we've got one draw tool working, which is awesome. Now let's get the next one working as well, which is the line tool. And if you compare, watch this. Look, this is the pencil tool. Look at the process input function and notice how similar they are. And that is because they're almost the same, but just the way that they work is slightly different. So with the pencil tool or freehand drawing, it draws while the mouse button is pushed down. And with the line tool, when the mouse button is held down, then you're dragging the line to where you want it, and then you release it, and that's when it draws. So that's what this code here does. This code records what were we drawing previously, was in progress. Then we check, is the mouse button still down? If so, we are in progress right now. And the function returns true if the mouse button was down, so if it was in progress, but isn't now. And at that point, the main program calls draw to surface to draw the line, and it's done. So this is like a copy and paste from pencil tool and then a modified. I have renamed some of the variables. So what was previous point and current point in the pencil tool, I have renamed to start point and end point because that makes more logical sense when you're drawing lines. Other than that, they're actually pretty much the same. And just like that, we have a fully functioning mini paint program. So I can draw freestyle, like with a pencil. I can draw straight lines. I can change the color to red, green, blue, and everything in between. So there we go, some red lines. Let's switch back to the pencil and change the color again. Actually, you know what? That's enough. What's next? Well, there are a few options. You could build your own mini paint program like I did using the same template, the starter template. Just click the link below the video to get the template. Or Kia Campus Creator and higher tier members can download the source code for this mini paint app, my one, and extend that. If you're going to do that, here are some suggestions. First, most obvious thing to do would be to add loading and saving. And that's because one of the most annoying things is to create this beautiful picture and then have to throw it away because there's no way to save it. After that, remove the hard-coded draw surface size. So for simplicity, I have hard-coded the draw surface to a specific size. I am sure that some people would like to make smaller and bigger pictures, so change that. After that, maybe add a few more tools like drawing rectangles or circles and ellipses. If you want to try something harder, try adding text drawing or flood fills. The choice is yours. I'll leave a link to the Kia Campus below the video as well for those who want to build on my code. Otherwise, get the starter template and play with that. I'll be adding more features to this paint program, but not today. That's it for now. I'll see you next time.